have to sneeze. Hello. I don't know how to start these. Hello. Okay. So I have here two colors, and this represents one side of the political spectrum. And then on the other side, we have another political party or affiliation or team. From this visual, we can see that people are pretty passionate about their team. So we all have teammates, and we want our stadium to be full on our side with people we can trust. And that happens on the other side too, right? Everybody needs their community. So the community shows up for these events, and they will shout from the rooftops how good they are as a team and how boring and bad the other team is. And being on your team and seeing your team win, well, that feels good, right? Because that means you are on the right side, that you know something, that your team is strong, that your team is good. These are all positive things when we see our team doing well. What I see is politics being turned into sports. And what do I mean by this? Well, if you go online and you bring up an issue, you will see likely one side, and then you will see a second side. And within these two sides, you will see certain arguments going towards each of those sides. And you see people being quite unhappy that the other side does not agree with them. What happens when this is contradicting with this? Well, these are two ideas, right? Two separate ideas. And what happens when those people do not agree about those things is they have two options. You have option one. And option two, of course. We have had these two options since the beginning of time. And for the majority of my life that I've been on the internet, I have seen people choose option two. They are arguing until the cows come home. And because most of us don't live around cows, the cows are not coming home. And we just continue to argue and argue and argue. And then get angrier and angrier with each other. But you know what else is happening at that same time? The more we get angry at each other, the more we look at our side and we go, hey, they actually agree with me. Well, that makes me a little happy. And then the person is doing this over here too. Aha, look at my friends. Look at all these supporters I have. But then you think about the other person again, and then you just keep on getting upset. But the thing with sports is that there has to be a winner and there has to be a loser. And usually when you pick a sports team, you are picking it because you think your team is best and because you think they will win. You go to games to see and support them. You drink beer, you're yelling, you're shouting, you're celebrating, you're clapping, and you're booing the other team. Usually by the end of a game, most likely, someone is the winner and someone is the loser. But the question is, who are the losers? Who are the winners? Who? Now, I don't know about you, but this doesn't seem to be working anymore. I think everybody has felt the sidedness of when they see arguments online, whether they are included in that or not. A lot of us are still reading it, even if we're not commenting. And we often also, behind the scenes, just reading, take a side. And we get upset when our team doesn't win. But I have a theory. And my theory is that instead of the medal going to one person in one team, oh my God, he's happy, hallelujah, he won. But what I think is really happening is that no one wins. And why does no one win? Well, no one wins because no one can agree on who the winner is. So do you know what that makes all of us on either side? Well, that would make us both, say it with me now, losers. Okay? I want you to get this through your head because I had to get it through mine. You're a loser. And I'm a loser. And your neighbor's a loser, and your grandma's a loser, the man next door that's just walking by is a loser, the cashier is a loser. We are all losing. No one's happy, all right? Do you feel happy every day seeing this? Do you feel happy in your team, seeing the other team be the way they are, and seeing some people actually in your own team be pretty weird and nasty, or just someone that you would actually never want to even hang around other than these political ideas that you have? Do you really want this to be your whole existence online? Really? This is what you want? Do you really want to be a loser? Because I don't. You are losing, okay? It doesn't matter if your political party won this round or that political party won another round. Because if we look back in history, going all the way back here, we have had both Democrats and we have also had Republicans. Now, I know there are other spectrums within this, but let's just go with Democrat and Republican for right now because those are two simple terms that I think everybody understands. We have had a Republican, and then we've had a Democrat, and then we've had a Republican, and then we've had a Democrat, and then we've had a Republican and Democrat, and the list goes on. If you've ever heard of the NFL, you know that at the end of the season of football, there is the biggest game. At the end of the Super Bowl, there is a winner and there is a loser. And you know what happens a lot of times? There is a word that it gets thrown around when people are upset at the outcomes. Foul play. Something was rigged. Something was off. The ref didn't see something. There was an injury that couldn't be avoided, but they had to keep on going. There is something bad and unfair and just foul. Now, what if instead, though, of the foul play coming from the NFL, it was coming from a different type of person? So obviously, I'm not actually talking about sports, right? I'm talking about politics. And within politics, I am talking about the average Joe on this side and the average Jane on this side, okay? But if we are saying foul play because we're not winning, and really, in reality, we're all losers, there has to be a winner somewhere in the game, right? So who wins? Who wins at the end of the game? Well, in my opinion, the person that wins is the person that is able to control whether the outcome is for their team or not, but they are able to control the emotions and the feelings and the outcome of the game. Now, for me, this is my personal belief. You don't have to agree with me, but I'm just telling you what I've seen and what I've noticed playing both sides of these teams pretty strictly. Pretty strictly, I would put it that way. But the more I've grown up, especially after this last election in 2024, I have a feeling and I have an inkling that none of us are the winners and that there is actually a different winner. And that different winner is who we are going to call, chat, let me know if I'm spelling this wrong. I'm just going off my own instincts and they're not great, okay? So, because we have a puppeteer in the game, there is foul play and there is a winner. And it's not us, all right? We lose. These people that are guiding the decisions and making the rules behind closed doors, they're not telling the people on their team what's going on. They are commanding the team on what's going on. These puppeteers up here are the winners. But who the fuck are they, right? They're off scene. Who are they? Well, that's what you and I are going to find out together. So, who is controlling us? Let's just pretend this is you and me and we are on a string and we are concerned for our well-being because we can't make up who's the winner and who's the loser. But what's this? Who's this down here? Well, okay, so we have here politician 1 and then politician 2. Now, they are wearing the color of your team. Or maybe they're wearing the color of the other team. And because of this, we look down and we go, oh, that's my team leader. And this person then looks down and goes, oh, that's my team leader. They must be on my side because they represent my political viewpoint. But what if the politician in question actually doesn't care about that viewpoint? Doesn't care about your side? What if instead they cared about their own well-being? What if politician 2 and politician 1 actually had more in common with each other than they do with you? Now, what would that mean? Well, if the politicians are supposed to be the number 1 and number 2 in the world. So what does that mean? Well, in my opinion, if the politician A and the politician B, that's how I'll remember it. Politician A, politician B, okay? If politician A and politician B are actually not on either side, and they actually don't represent themselves, and they're more interested in their own well-being, well, in my opinion, they're not on your side. They're not on my side. They're not on your side. They are actually on each other's side. So how do we know that these people are not on our teams? How can we find out if they're actually on our side, if they represent us, and if they're, or if they're more interested in their well-being? I think there is probably a few signs. The first sign would be that you in your life doesn't change. Because why? Well, the reason why we're on this team in politics, okay, not in sports, in politics, the reason why we're on this team is because we want things to get better, okay? We want our life to get better. We want our wallets to get better. We want our jobs to get better. We want our relationships to get better. We want all these things in our community to get better. But has it gotten better? Has your life gotten better from trusting in your team leader? Or has it stayed the same? Or possibly, has it gotten worse? What is it? Another thing you could probably see. Another way is that they're not consistent. Let's say politician B says, I love blue. They wear blue all the time. They're going out in blue. They're drinking blue. They're hanging out with all the blue people. But then one day you wake up and you see on the news that actually they also like to wear red. And then you look at the news maybe another day and then you see that, oh my God, they actually are starting to look like red. And actually, they love hanging out with people that are red. Well, what does that mean? Oh, and then especially, what if then they come out and they say, I actually love red? Well, then they're not being very consistent with their point of view. Okay, number 3 kind of goes with number 1. So number 3 is, and hang on now here, okay? I am long-winded. They spend more time distracting and fighting than they do making results for their team. So what if Mr. Red over here says, OMG, blue is the worst? What if they said, I hate them? And what if, what if you actually hate them too, though? What if you like when they said that these people are wrong? What if you like the arguing? And what if you like the fighting? Well, that actually, to me, sounds a little human, right? Because I think we all like conflict. I think we all like a buzz. I think we all like gossip, even if we're not willing to talk about it. That doesn't mean you want it in your own life, right? That doesn't even necessarily mean you want it in your own country. But when you go online and you see someone fighting, it is hard to look away. It is so hard to look away because you just need to know what's going on. And you know what that is? My favorite word. That is curiosity, all right? So the thing is politician A and politician B know that we are curious. They also know that we love an argument and we like to see people fight. Even if you did not grow up this way, even if you personally in your life or your family or your unit or your community is not into fighting, I think you should spend a little more time online. Because a lot of people that are getting off of their workday and leaving those communities and leaving those parties and going online are then watching this all go down with almost like popcorn in their hand, okay? And I'm going to say this because I know, because I have seen politicians arguing, and when they say something that I agree with and they put down the other person in a way that I find vindictive, I say, yes, that's right. That's so right. Oh my God, I won something. I won the approval and I won the viewpoint being represented, right, in my way. But again, if they truly represent you and they are truly on your side, not only spend time fighting for you, they will spend time creating results. They will create change that improves your life, that makes it better. And they are consistent with their word and their promises. Because I don't know about you, but if I have a friendship that does not want my life to be better, right? Or even a family member, or even someone in your community or your job, apply it to where it matters. If they are not fighting for you, if they are not helping you with your results, if they don't care about your life or seeing you do better, and they are not consistent with their word and with their actions, then they don't care about you. They don't care about you. Sink in, sit down, write it down on your paper. They do not care about me. They don't care about my health. They don't care about my friendships. They don't care about my well-being. They do not care about my pocket. They do not care if I have housing, and they do absolutely not care if you are fed and if you have shelter. They don't care. Stop losing. They don't give two rasses asses. Two rasses asses.